If you like to laugh, and who doesn't, then you've come to the right place. Welcome to My Funny House with the Powell brothers. Frank Powell is a real estate broker who was born and raised in San Diego, along with Frank's brother Mark, a real estate broker who also lives in San Diego. Each week, the Powell brothers bring in a special guest comedian to share hilarious real estate stories so you can learn what can go really right and what can go really wrong with home improvements and home ownership. So now, let's get into it with My Funny House. Here are your hosts, Frank and Mark Powell on The Answer San Diego.
Good morning, San Diego. Welcome to My Funny House with the Powell brothers. My name is Mark Powell. I'm a real estate broker, and sitting to the left of me is my brother, Frank Powell, who is also a real estate broker.
How do you know they know I'm sitting to the left of you if they're on the radio?
I just told them.
Oh, okay. They
Now
can
they
look at us,
know.
I guess, on YouTube.
They can see us on.
Well, good morning, San Diego. Another beautiful San Diego day. And Maria Herman is traveling the world right now, so she won't be with us.
Yes.
I'm going to miss her. But we got the backup. We got our backup brother. We got James Schrader in the house.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me
there
again.
he is.
Thank you very much. And Mark, go ahead and tell us what we're going to talk about and who our special guest is in studio.
Okay, we are going to talk about title. And the topic of our show is, what the heck is title insurance? And sitting to the right of me, Frank, look.
Yes,
To the right of me.
Yes, to the right.
Is Anne Franks with Chicago Title.
Hi.
Welcome. Thank you for Yay.
That's a hot seat
Oh
to
my
be in
goodness.
because, first of all, we don't know if it's a subject that's even funny. It's kind of serious, isn't it?
Title? I don't know.
I don't know what it is.
Well, I mean, I'm not exactly sure what it is.
Yeah, we don't know what it is.
Jefe, what is a plethora?
Mark, not that title. I mean,
James has a title. He's a comedian.
yeah.
Sure. I'll take it.
Yeah, we're brokers. Okay, so let's just go ahead and jump in.
Okay.
What is title insurance and why do we need it?
What
How's
is
that
it,
for-
Anne?
What is title insurance? Hold on.
Move that mic closer to you.
I know, making me nervous here.
Don't be nervous.
I'm friendly.
Surrounded by three men.
He doesn't
Basically,
bite
yeah.
hard.
Basically, title insurance protects home buyers and lenders against any problems, defects that can arise when property is transferred from the seller to the new buyer. And title insurance can help protect if there's any problems that arise.
What would a problem be? Yeah. Like, because I know I've bought and sold a house. I remember this just being on one of the line items that I had to pay for.
You paid for it.
Yeah, and I had no clue.
What problem?
Yeah,
what's
some
gonna
of
pop
the
up?
typical problems would be maybe like child support, unpaid child support liens that weren't recognized by the title company. You didn't pay your IRS liens.
That's weird. I would never think
Yeah.
Maybe some uninsured deeds where people are transferring title around and, maybe that
What
person
happens-
doesn't have the right to sell the property.
Okay, so let me ask you something. The word title, like what is just the word title? Is that like whose name is on it, or this is whose title, like whose name is on the property on the deed? Is that what it means?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
so who actually owns the property?
Right, like the
and
title of a book.
Yeah, the title of a book, your car title,
Gotcha.
who owns the car,
So it's the pink slip for the house.
the pink slip for the house,
Got it.
correct.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Although,
so the
although you don't really have the
insurance-
pink.
That's a good way to look at it.
And so the insurance is in case the person that's standing there holding the pink slip actually doesn't have the right to hold that pink slip.
Right.
If there's okay,
Yeah.
now it makes sense. Now I get
Okay,
it.
but what happens if they don't know about it? You know what I mean?
Then the title company, as soon as you get your title insurance, would back you to cover any insured liens or anything like that.
What do you mean? They would give you money?
They would maybe give you money. It depends on, you would file a claim with the title company and they would represent you.
Well, it's like a car insurance almost.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I was told that title insurance is the only insurance that protects you backwards in life. It doesn't protect you forward. So example, if you get dental insurance, it's in case you get a cavity, or auto insurance or health insurance in case something happens to you in the future. Title insurance is the only insurance that goes backwards in time and makes sure there's no fraudulent things against the title, and that's the best way to explain it.
You mean things that happened in the past versus
past.
future occurrences?
Correct, because nothing. Yeah.
Is that right?
No, that's not right.
Wrong, sir. Wrong.
You know what? I almost believed you too. It sounded
That
like
was good. That was good. Okay, so really, what is it? Tell us.
Yeah. It depends on the type of policy you have. There's a couple different types of policies. It's CLTA and a homeowner's policy.
What's CLTA stand for?
California.
Liability title insurance.
I think it's
Yeah,
California
Liability
title insurance.
Title Association.
Well, but it's not.
Yeah, you know what? We're going to have to get that one right.
CLTA.
Yeah, that's what we do.
CLTA.
Yeah, there's alternatives.
Well, this is why we're doing it. When a buyer is looking at buying a house,
right,
or seller, and the seller says it's typically a customary seller expense. Normally, the seller will pay for title insurance. They probably want to know what they're
sorry about that,
paying for.
Mm-hmm.
You owe us $50.
$50 for their phone
ring.
call.
Phone ring.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask Dan this. When we list a house, we get what's called a PR, a preliminary title insurance.
No, a preliminary title report.
Preliminary title report.
Sorry.
Yes.
Okay,
So-
explain that.
So typically, when you go into escrow or you list a house, the title company will open a preliminary title report. And what we do is we pull all the information regarding the property and that individual. And we also require some additional information to clear the title, such as a statement of information from the sellers, which will give us their social, their date of birth, all their information, driver's license number. You know, we don't require blood, anything like that.
Yeah, show proof of vaccination for COVID-19.
No proof of vaccination yet. So basically, we take all that information and clear the title. Once the property closes, then it's transferred to the new owner, and a title policy is issued, and then they're covered in case of any future liens or
In case you
things that
miss
come
some,
up.
in case somebody missed something.
In case the title company
I gotcha.
misses something, correct.
Hey, let me ask you a question. This is kind of scary. I keep hearing commercials and watching commercials where people are saying title theft is a real problem and people can steal your house while you're in it.
Take a loan and sell it.
Is that true?
Yeah, that does happen. There is fraud that happens. So people, can get access to your deed. They can do a loan, like a home equity loan, and pull money out of your house, or they can even attempt to sell it. So that's why there's all these precautions.
And you know how people do that?
It's actually public information, access to all those
So
documents.
everyone thinking about that should take out a pencil right now.
Yeah.
Take these. Start taking.
So it's really just so somebody literally can go on like the tax assessor's website and see like this is the person who owns it and all those documents, the deed and all that is there,
Yeah,
and then they somehow take that to like a bank and they just falsify that they are that person.
Well, they would need to do a notarized documentation. So
they're
a lot
just
of
straight
times,
falsifying documents.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. And the title companies actually have in place, notaries that are approved by the title companies to make sure if we're uncertain if this transfer was supposed to be done, we'll require find that person to do a new notarization.
So what if I wanted to buy a house, and I go, yeah, it's like driving a car. I don't want title insurance. Can I buy a house without title insurance?
Yes, you can. You can, unless you are getting a loan, because the lenders do require title insurance.
Oh, that makes sense.
So, and the best thing about title insurance is typically with a buyer, the seller does pay for the title insurance. And the good thing for the buyer is it's good for the whole time you own the home. And you don't have to renew it. It's good the whole time you live in the property.
How much does it cost?
It's just based on the sales price, and the seller does pay for that. So,
is it like a percentage or?
yeah, it's about a percentage. So
Okay.
it depends on what the price is of the
Okay.
property.
cash, homie.
Okay, so is it a ripoff to get it?
No, it's not a ripoff. It's a one-time charge that actually the seller pays for the buyer, and you never have to renew it. It's good the whole time you live into the house.
That's different, because if you get car insurance, every year you get it, it goes up. It typically goes up, and if you add a car, you have to pay more. This is just one shot, and that's it.
The one-time fee. Yep.
I think
so it's a little
I
bit
think
different
it's-
type of insurance. So you
how
never
long
have
does
to
it
pay
last
again.
for?
The whole time you own the home.
So 20 years later, you have a home. Is this where if like somebody does all of a sudden try to get, like you said, like they try to like steal your deed or do something like this, then that homeowner would file a claim with the title company?
Correct.
And then you guys would kind of like do the due diligence and figure out what happened and then also make it right.
Right. Represent the
Gotcha.
homeowner.
What is
So,
not covered?
That would be anything that the homeowner does, like maybe not paying their mortgage or things that they do.
Well,
you
if
know.
somebody, let me ask you this. If somebody stole your title, is that covered?
It depends on
They
what
s-
kind of policy you have. Like with a homeowner's policy, you would have to file a claim with the title company that you're insured with, and then they would have like 30 days to respond.
Is that one like when Mark tries to steal James' title at being a comedian?
Yeah, it's not covered.
Yes,
It's not covered.
that's not covered.
I'm not
But I think you just said something kind of interesting. So the policy literally protects you from other people, but not yourself. If you're an idiot,
Yes.
you're an idiot.
Yeah,
Like
right.
pay your
You go.
bills, pay your mortgage, pay your
Yes.
insurance. Like
Yeah, what do you tell a guy who didn't have, hey, I'd like you to buy this house, but we just found out that you haven't paid your child support in 10 years, man. What's going on? I mean, who tells them that news?
Yeah, if they go to sell the property or refinance, they're going to find out that they have these liens.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen on a title, like that you came up that? Like,
Gosh, I think things from a long time ago that,
Illegal today?
that are illegal today.
Like what?
Such
Like
as
the guy
things,
marries his goat?
You can't
that's illegal.
sell liquor out of your house, or certain like nationalities can only live in these buildings.
Hold
Just
on.
crazy stuff from a long time ago that are actually on CCNRs,
Okay,
which are
those are-
crazy today.
Those are two things that I thought for sure I could do: marry a goat and sell alcohol from my house. And
yeah, can't do it. No.
is that only limited to California, James?
I mean, I don't know state to state, but I think common sense would say,
Well, you did 1 out of 2.
Frank, don't talk about.
yeah.
Did he just talk about my wife?
know, I did-
no,
you
I
said-
don't think he designated either way. You're the one that's
Yeah, you said the wife.
incriminating
I thought you
yourself.
sold alcohol.
Oh my
Wait a
goodness!
second. I want to go back to Ann, like at the beginning of the show, telling me I was wrong.
Wrong,
I got
sir.
something to say.
Wrong.
Yeah, I'm gonna redeem myself. So let's say you have the house in 10 years. You get a letter from this guy who's a 20-year-old and goes, "Hey, my great grandfather used to own this, and I have the deed to this, and I want the house back because it was fraudulently transferred." Does the title insurance cover that?
Yeah, what you would do is file a claim with the title company, and they would look into it. And if it's something that we missed in our research when we were doing our exam, and it was
So it is true.
you
I
can't
get
get
what
covered.
you meant. You meant like if things pop up from the past.
Right.
Oh
from the
yeah,
past.
from
Yeah.
the past.
So the
I'm
policy
sorry,
starts
yes.
on a date and goes till you
Oh,
sell
okay,
the
so
house
you're right.
again.
Basically, I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
Yeah, we do all the research up to that point, but when you do have a title
I know what I'm
policy,
talking about.
there are things that are covered after.
You're going to have to go back to therapy because of this.
You just put me in my PTSD mode. My teacher's telling me I
He's
was
never gotten
stupid.
anything wrong.
Never.
Sorry about
Besides
that,
those two
Frank.
marriages, but that was, I mean, that's sometimes.
I planned that. Well, I wanted to be a better human.
That's poor planning. That's poor planning.
A little bit.
I knew that
Okay,
would happen.
so let me ask you a question here. What's the difference between a title search and title insurance? Because I'll get people that'll ask me that question pretty often.
So a title search is just where we do the exam work, like for the preliminary title report, but we don't actually give you title insurance, which you pay for.
Okay.
Oh,
So with the insurance, you actually have a policy, and you have rights to, if somebody is disputing, you've got a right to file a claim with the company. There's something called like a condition of title, whereas people are maybe doing work or doing different things on their property, and they just need a title search done, and we do those as well.
Just to see who owns it.
To see who owns it, and maybe do plotted easements for underground, SDG&E lines,
that's a good
water
one,
lines,
too.
that kind of thing.
This is just one of the things that when people think about realtors and brokers and how they think it's easy to sell a house and just stick a sign out and make money. This is one of the things that there's so many different aspects of selling a house, and people didn't even realize probably title insurance is something you got to think about when you're making an
Well,
offer.
Frank, I know one thing that they ask too, because it's called vesting. Like, can you
Oh,
explain?
that's right. Yeah.
How many different ways to hold title? Like,
Yeah.
let's
What
go
does
through each-
vesting mean? Like I remember, we get that all the time. Like
Yeah.
I want to vest it, or can I change the title during escrow? Like if I decide to include my mother-in-law.
Goat?
Yeah.
My beloved goat.
I'm not sure this
Did
was
you just call
goat.
my mother-in-law a goat? God.
Yeah, there's.
I guess we have goats in our family.
This is bad.
Oh my God.
That was good.
There's
Okay.
like eight different ways to hold title.
Can you name three?
Yeah, you can hold it in a trust. You can
What does
hold
that
it
mean?
as a,
Well, you got to go slow because Frank's here.
yeah,
Go ahead.
okay,
You hold it-
okay. A trust. You can hold your title in a trust, and basically you set that up with an attorney or maybe
Okay.
on Zoom or whatever online.
Yeah.
So that's one way, and you have your heirs, and if something happens to the owners, you have your successor trustees
Okay,
that will take
okay.
over. There is, hold it as a single person. Also, married couple,
Can you hold title as a single person if you're married?
Yes, you can. Yes, you
Okay.
can hold it as a single person if you're married, but you would have to have your spouse.
You'll be
state
divorced 2 weeks later.
of California sign off on it.
Oh, you have to get there. You have to actually get
Yes,
there.
you do.
So you can't go buy a piece of property without them knowing.
Yes,
technically.
exactly.
Interesting.
Yep. Well,
Can you?
But what if it's a present, Your Honor? It was a present, I swear.
I was going to
yeah, we're
gift
in
it
a
to her.
community
Yeah,
property.
Yeah,
later.
I wanted to surprise her in a couple years.
Okay, so you can hold it as a single person, you can hold it as a married person, you can hold it in a trust.
So that's called vested.
But how do you get somebody off the title? Like you go, hey, I'm divorced now, and my wife is still on
Isn't
this,
that a
or my
quick-
husband's
quick
still on
claim
this.
deed?
Well, how do you do that?
Yeah, you can do a quick claim deed or a grant deed to remove them from title, and they would need to sign off on the property, giving you the right.
And that word
to
was
have-
called a quit
Quit.
claim.
Yeah.
So that means you quit. You don't want to be on
Claim.
the deed anymore. It's that easy. It's
Yeah, you
not
quit any
quick.
claims.
It's quit.
Quit
so
claim.
quit
And
and claim deed.
Is that something that like a title company like yours could help with? Is that something like do you guys do that,
yeah,
or is that
usually
just a?
we only deal with like open transactions. But there's
Usually a
variety of
divorce attorney deals with that.
Yeah, the divorce
Okay.
attorney or an attorney will.
Yeah.
An estate
A-
attorney
a
will
state
deal with
attorney,
that.
Correct. So, and there's a lot of good things about getting your house in a trust. I heard if you get sued or if you have a corporation or you want to protect your assets, it's always good to put it in a trust rather than an individual who, if something happens to someone in their house, like let's say somebody falls off the roof, there's more liability if it's not in a trust. So people in the audience should think about getting in a trust, I would say.
I
Yeah.
think that's
I think a trust is a good, or an LLC too.
Or yeah,
Yeah.
limited liability corporation is
Corporation
another
is
one.
another one, so you don't have
But
liability.
okay, so let's say people wanted to get in contact with you and talk about trust. I mean, I know I'm going forward, but who do you work with or for?
I work with Chicago Title.
Chicago Title. Now, is your office in Chicago, or do you just fly out here?
Actually, we are out of Chicago.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
we've been around about over 170 years.
Wow.
So,
You don't look that old.
Yeah.
So you do know your stuff. I'll allow you to school me now that I know how old you are.
Yeah.
But okay, but you're in San Diego, based out of San
yeah,
Diego.
in San Diego. We're actually nationwide.
So Anne Frank's Chicago
Go
Title.
Title.
Google you.
Okay, I have
Exactly.
just a couple of other questions. So I got this situation. It just happened. So what do you do if a person buys a house and everything is good and they find out that their neighbors are encroaching on your land? So let's just say they built a structures on your land. Does title insurance cover that?
Trying to break my
For
fence!
either both one or the other?
Yes. So what you would do is file a claim with the company that you have the title insurance with, and then write to them, and then they would respond to you, and we have attorneys and
So okay,
find
so
it out if it's a valid claim.
right. So let's say somebody built. Let's say I have a bunch of land out in East County, and somebody built a barn on my property, and I find out is that barn mine? So I can keep my goat there?
Yeah.
Is the barn mine?
You would file a claim with the
Okay.
title
And then,
company.
so at that point, you guys would like do the research. You'd look into like,
and
you know,
then-
these are the actual boundaries. These are the
Yeah.
property. You're 3 feet over. And then would you guys like handle?
we would handle the litigation or whatever needs
With
to
that,
be done
whoever
if
that
the
person
claim
was.
is approved.
This
So,
also happens in residential areas. We had one where a person had a canyon, but below the canyon was another house, right?
Right.
And the guy below them built up a retaining wall, didn't realize he was on the neighbor's property, encroached. So when the people bought the house, they go, hey, let's see how much of this canyon we own. They got a surveyor, and that's a guy that can measure your property and put the steel stakes in there to tell you exactly, per the inch what you own. And it went right across the guy's retaining wall. When he went down there and he goes, hey, this is my property. The guy goes, well, I bought it. And the realtor said the property goes up past
Right.
that, and that's why I built a retaining wall. That's the kind of claim you have. So you can win or lose, or you can settle, right?
Right,
Typical
right.
process.
Yeah, and you just file a claim with the title company, and that's why you have title insurance, one of the reasons for that kind of situation. So it's something that wasn't caught during the inspection period before the escrow closed.
Are there different types of title insurance? Different types, or is it?
Yeah, there's the homeowners, which is policy for people who actually live in the home, and there's a lot more coverage for that. And then there's the CLTA, which is mostly for investment property, vacant land.
Gotcha.
Where there's not as much coverage.
Okay, so if you're going to live in that house, you want the Alta. If it's going to be an investment property, you want this CLTA, right?
Correct. Yeah, and the title company will also give you the best type of insurance possible. So depending on when we do our research.
Do you have any questions, James?
No,
Not about.
No,
they have to be about title, not about Mark's fantasy goats. Okay.
Wait, we have multiple goats now.
yeah.
There's multiple goats.
Well, Mark told me there was I thought he said there's a ghost in my room last night, but he meant goat. Yeah, that's different, Mark.
Well, listen,
that's scary.
It's still haunting,
that's
though.
scary
It's
than
still
a ghost,
haunting.
right?
I gotta get to Costco and buy some alcohol because I'm having a big sale in my backyard later on. You
Let's do
know?
some bootlegging.
Exactly. Hey, let me ask you something. Does title insurance cover if you find out later that the house was a meth lab?
I think things have to be disclosed. That might be under the.
Is that something
the
the
real
title
estate,
would?
yeah.
Is that
Well,
something?
I mean, there has to be something to claim against, though. So just because you found out it was a meth lab,
Yeah, I
mean,
don't know. I guess
finding free meth in your house isn't
free meth.
Mark just
a
wanted.
bad thing.
Mark was looking for a meth story to get rid of the goat. You know. Okay, so listen, we are coming down to the last 1 minute and 30 seconds. These talks are, what we do goes so fast. And there's so much more to learn. So like I said, if you want to get a hold of Anne Franks in Chicago Title, and can you give us either a website that you can go down? I know you spell your name ANNE. There's an E at the end. Okay,
Yeah.
Franks,
Yeah, you can
FRANKS.
email me or call me, ann.franks@ctt.com, or my phone number is 619-890-7800.
Okay, and of course we have funny James Schroeder. And is it going to? Are we going back to the mask mandate, or are you guys still pulling comedy shows?
No, shows are open. They're being, because of the Delta, they're being a little more, I think they're kind of limiting numbers a little. Some of the clubs I know make you do a mask till you get in. They check your temp, things like that.
Is it too early to tell COVID jokes at your place, or?
No.
Okay.
It's never.
I don't know what the timing is. It's a pandemic.
Listen, it's comedy. We're all going to die at some point.
Right.
We might as well laugh until it happens.
Okay, great. And
So there we go.
James, you're doing really well in life, and I'm really happy for you.
thank you,
Now you're a
guys.
comedian, actor. I think you're going to be a book writer soon. I'm just guessing. Why not?
I got stuff in the works. I got ideas. I got ideas.
An artist is an artist. So how do we get a hold of you, James?
JamesSchrader.com is the best place to find me. Just Google James Schrader or Dr. Squatch guy, or who's the guy in the doctor's,
Yeah.
and I pop up. Yeah.
Okay, Mark, how do we get a hold of Powell Brothers?
To get a hold of the Powell Brothers, you can hit us up online at powellbrothersrealty.com, or you can call us at 858-922-7725.
And on YouTube, go to My Funny House with the Powell Brothers and get to see all of us on studio.
And subscribe to our channel.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank
and
you so much.
Happy
Have a great Saturday.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us today for My Funny House with the Powell Brothers, right here on The Answer San Diego. Join us next week as the Powell Brothers bring you more funny stories of what can go really right and what can go really wrong with home improvements and home ownership, and bring the laughs to you with yet another hilarious guest comedian. To find out more about the Powell Brothers, be sure to check out their website at powellbrothersrealty.com, or you can visit myfunnyhouse.com. Again, thanks for being with us, and we'll see you next week for My Funny House on The Answer San Diego.